को क्षण भर देखो, सब में राम ही राम समाए। सब में राम ही राम समाए, क्या हीरा क्या कंकर, राम नाम के दो अक्षर से तैर गए हैं पत्थर। बिगड़ी बात बना देते हैं राम नाम दो अक्षर, राम नाम के दो अक्षर से तैर गए हैं पत्थर। जय जय राम जय जय राम, जय जय राम जय जय राम, जय जय राम जय जय राम, जय जय राम जय जय राम। जिनके मन में राम है चारों धाम उन्हीं के समझो, जिनके मन में राम है चारों धाम उन्हीं के समझो। शुद्ध सरल जिनके हृदय है राम उन्हीं के समझो, शबरी के झूठे बेरों को, शबरी के झूठे बेरों को राम खा गए हंसकर, राम नाम के दो अक्षर से तैर गए हैं पत्थर। बिगड़ी बात बना देते हैं राम नाम दो अक्षर, राम नाम के दो अक्षर से तैर गए हैं पत्थर। राम हे राम, राम हे राम, राम हे राम, राम हे राम शब्द है राम ब्रह्म है, राम है सबके स्वामी। राम शब्द है राम ब्रह्म है, राम है सबके स्वामी। राम धरा में राम गगन में, राम ही अंतर्यामी। राम नाम ही सदा सत्य है, राम नाम ही सदा सत्य है। चले सत्य के पथ पर, राम नाम के दो अक्षर से तैर गए हैं पत्थर। बिगड़ी बात बना देते हैं राम नाम दो अक्षर, राम नाम के दो। सहना भवतु, सहनौ पुनत्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Deepanj, you have a question?
Yes. So, to understand, can we use a dream to understand the theory of perception in the waking? Uh, I mean, because okay, so let's start from the beginning. The the one of the opposition arguments to the idealist and to the realist was that the idealists take only the mind and the realists take only the object, both of which are already part of creation, so they cannot be the cause of creation. That's one of
Correct.
the objections. Vedanta solves it by bringing in Brahman, or
No, of course not.
no? Vedanta solves it by bringing both of them, but both of them are also part of the creation.
Okay. So when you say that it cannot be responsible for the whole creation, okay, you cannot say one part is responsible for this happening. If a husband and wife fight, you cannot say the husband is responsible, the wife is responsible. Both together are are what is responsible. But what Vedantic theory says, both alone are not there. Brahman is also there. So when we are saying one part cannot be the cause of creation, you get the difference? Okay, see, there's a husband and wife who are fighting. What is the cause of the fight? The husband and the wife. Correct. You cannot place the entire blame on the husband or on the wife. Correct. So, what is the cause of creation? Subject and object in the presence of Brahman. You cannot place the entire onus of creation either on the subject or on the object, because whatever is the creation, finally, okay, whatever the rose you see, is the combination of these two. One of them is not responsible.
Okay, so the objection was one being responsible for the entire thing.
Correct.
So
The thoughts
just
in your mind are
mm,
not responsible for the creation of the rose. Thoughts in the mind of the rose, plus the attributes of the rose in the rose, together are the creation of that rose. Perception of creation of that rose.
okay, so the Brahman point is not brought up to explain any of the problems. Okay.
The Brahman point is brought up to explain that that's not all there is. The realists and idealists say only one of these two. To which Vedanta says both of these plus Brahman. Because if you were to remove the subject and object, if you were to remove the creation, what remains is Brahman. It has to be part of the deal, right? Part of the theory.
Yeah, it's part of the theory because that's in Vedanta, not because that so even if you don't include Brahman, no,
Not because that's in Vedanta, because that's the truth.
that's what Vedanta claims is the truth, right?
Okay, if you want to put it like that. But why does Vedanta say it? Because it is the you cannot say the according to Vedanta, since you want to put it that way, the subject and object cannot exist without Brahman. Without the ocean, the waves cannot exist. So how can you ignore the ocean when you're discussing how the froth and foam comes?
Correct, yeah.
How can you ignore electricity when you're discussing how light comes? You're saying these two, whatever, what are they called? That fuse. The two have to meet, right?
Yep,
You can't.
positive and negative.
Yeah,
Yep. Mm.
and so you can't ignore electricity when you're discussing why light. So say, okay, the fuse is connected, and this and that, and all this thing, and what happened to electricity?
So then what makes it a theory and not a law?
We'll come to that. Want to knock this whole thing down. The problem with philosophy. First, you make us study so much, then you tell us, no, this is not true. Then why did you make me study it so much? But you have to go through the steps, because only by going through the steps you realize what is the problem. Otherwise, we memorize the problem. It's not a philosophical insight.
Got it. Thank you.
Janki ji, can we also say that, clapping of the hands also in this case, you need two hands to clap.
Mhm.
So, in this case, Brahman activates is the third element here.
In that example, we are
No, we can't.
not having
Okay.
third element. If we have to have a third element, we'll have to have air or something.
Mhm.
So your sound, your one hand will not clap, your two hands will not actually clap unless they're there.
Okay. So here it is not, the example is not really relevant.
I mean, we can stretch it and say in the presence of air.
Okay.
You can do that, but it's not really relevant. You
Hmm.
can increase it. So your sound will come not with two hands clapping, but if two hands clap in the presence of air. But air is always there, so it's always ignored, and therefore we never discuss the air that is required for the clapping of the hands.
Okay.
I mean,
Thank
that
you.
way we can do
Hmm.
a philosophical extension.
Okay. Thank you.
Taran?
Yeah, hi, Janki. Good morning. Yeah, so Janki, if you can elaborate a bit on, I heard a few things and I joined late. Sorry about it. Uh, that the creation is caused or is a combination of object and subject both plus Brahman. So that part I couldn't grasp. That are we saying three things or how it is?
No. Two things in the presence of all pervading Brahman. Just like the sound of the clap, taking Mira's example, the clap, when two hands clap, there's a sound. But what are we missing in this is the presence of all pervading air. Or if we take the example of the waves and the ocean, then the one wave beats another wave, and then that is the froth and foam. But all this is happening in the ocean. So you can say it's three factors, but the third factor is an inactive factor.
So air can be the inactive factor here,
Yes, of course.
clapping of
Yes.
palms, right?
Because it is not making a sound or it is not doing anything, but in its presence, sound is made. So Brahman is not doing anything, but in its presence, all things happen. Like the ocean is not creating froth and foam, but in its presence, the waves create froth and foam.
Is it in his presence or it is in him?
Same thing.
Uh, When we say it is in his presence, there then still a separation. When we say it is happening in him, then it is different, right?
Well, you can say that or not. I mean, even in him is a separation, right? There is no,
In
if you
him,
go by pure with Advaita, there is no duality. So, what is in him and outside him? These terms have no sense. But if you prefer the term in, then that's fine too, as long as the spirit is grasped, which is that he is required for anything to happen.
yeah, like in the waves and ocean example, it can be understood as the Brahman as the water, neither the ocean nor the wave.
Okay, you can say that, but in our example, we're taking the ocean.
Then what is water?
Same thing, ocean and water. Don't go by the examples, don't get lost in the example. Use it as a springboard to get the concept they're talking about. This concept is what a creation will take place only when there's a subject and object. And when these two meet, the attributes of the object plus the thought in the mind of the of the object in the subject the thought in the mind of the subject plus the attribute in the object, when they meet, will perception or creation take place. Now, this to happen requires the medium of Brahman. The concept is to be clear. The examples, every example will have something wrong with it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Janki ji, the dream word or dream is also included in the creation.
Yes, it's a different creation. Any creation is included. Why dream? Any other dimension you go to, there also. Anytime there's a perception, anytime there's a creation, it's included in the formula.
Hariom, ma'am, I have a question about the formula.
Mhm.
TP plus pen, the thought of the pen, quality of pen plus Brahman is equal to we see the pen. But I am finding it so difficult to understand this formula for the simple reason that if the thought goes away, I can't see the pen. But so I can touch it, right? Like for instance, I'm walking with my eyes closed and I can touch the pen. So the pen is there, right?
The pen is there only after you've touched it. Suppose that there's a person who can't see and he's
Okay.
walking on the road
Hmm.
and he bumps into a person or into a
Hmm.
light pole, right? So
Hmm.
that light pole is created for his perception at the point of bumping, because here is when two things are there. As
Oh,
long
that
as the
clap of the two things. Oh my, man, this is so tricky. Okay, I have one more thing.
Mm.
See, eyes also play a part, right? See, we can't see endlessly. So, thought and eyes also I can put it that way, right? Like I can see a tree up to a certain point. After a certain, my eyes will not help out. So the tree is there, but my eyes that part is also was slightly confusing.
No, unless your thought is there, your eyes can't do anything. So
Okay, so all three put together, all two put together, the two thought,
which thing?
the thought
Thought,
and the object.
yes. Because if your thought is not there, your eyes will fall on something and not see it. I mean, your vision will fall on it and you don't see it. Haven't you noticed that? You're looking for something, your car keys. And Ranjini will say, "What are you making a noise for? It's right here." And then you look and it's there.
It happens. Okay,
Very
ma'am.
often it happens. Husband will say, "Not here, it's not here." The wife will come and she'll say, have you looked in the drawer? Yes, I looked in the drawer. It's not there. Then she will go, she'll open the drawer. Then what is this then? You know, these are common experiences, right? Your thought is not there. And you just can't see it. So why did you not see it? You're looking for the car keys. Why did you not see them? Because your thought was not on car keys. Your thought was on that I'm rushing out of the house, that I'm getting late for the meeting, that this is going to happen and that is going to happen. So your thought
Uh,
wasn't there. So you didn't see it, even when the object is there. Now, when is that object going, that creation of the object or perception of the object? When it's there. When it's there and your thought is there.
So
Same
even
thing.
touch is considered as thought, right?
Touch is not thought. The touch is, at that point only the thought came.
Okay, okay. Ma'am, it's not a perfect formula, but it's just a theory for assuaging the mind. Can I put it this way? Or
No, it is perfect as far as theories of perfection of perception go.
okay,
It's better than the others.
okay. And one more question, ma'am. See, I think you gave this example that we are rushing home. So most of the day, our mind is not at the absolute present. We are either at the past or daydream about the future. I don't want to give examples. For instance, a lot of people still live in the 1983 World Cup with, right? A lot of.
Hmm.
So what exactly is reality? So those people will say be real, but that person is always in the daydream world. I will not say the dream world, but the daydream world. For him, that is the thing. So what exactly is reality? This chapter has it touched upon it, because I could not see that. And you have also raised this point, like class mind is elsewhere. So what exactly is reality? Has this touched upon it? That was one more question.
It is a stepping stone to what is reality. We are coming to it.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. That's it. Thank you.
There's a whole chapter called reality coming.
Mm.
Yes, Deepraj.
Uh, please let me know if this question is also related to that reality point. But we say I see a car in the morning. It's because the my thought of the car and the attributes of the car. Then I go and in the afternoon I come back and see the car in the same place. Now I will assume that the car has been in existence until morning from afternoon, but there was no perception of the car. But
Correct.
the car, but I will assume that it existed.
Correct.
Is this a correct assumption
It is.
according to the theory of perception?
It is.
Okay, so how does these two fit in? So it's like perception and inference. Is it different?
Of course. You have
Okay.
inference of the car. You don't have any perception of the car in the interim.
Yeah, no.
You have only an inference. Inference is
Okay.
optic.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Or shall we do a brief summary of the chapter? Brief summary of the chapter. What did we begin with? We began with the phenomenon of the world. What is the world really like? What is its nature? Is it as it appears to your senses? If you say it is as it appears to my senses, which is a realistic stance, which is the stance of the realist, then you get to ask the question, then whose senses are you talking about? The ant must be seeing, I don't know, we see a room here. What does the ant see? Maybe the ant will see a cloud of dust. What does an elephant see? An elephant will probably also not see very much because I think it will be too close to his eyes, and see. Right? So who senses? Every being will see this room very differently. Can you imagine there's a bacteria somewhere in this room? How is that bacteria seeing it? Does it know that there's a room? And we look up at the universe, we see the night sky. Okay, we are seeing a certain thing. Now, should we have had completely different senses, maybe our night sky would look completely different. Maybe we would see something else altogether. Maybe we might not see stars and galaxies at all. We may see, I don't know what, I can't tell you what we'll see if we didn't have these senses. When an owl looks out, what does that owl see at night? This is one of the problems, the philosophical problem, which is, the subjective perception. I'm trying to remember there's a big name for it. Even if you say, tell somebody, I love you. What are you communicating to this person? What is that person understanding from you? Are we forever trapped in a world of our own perception with no idea what somebody else is saying or doing or seeing or feeling? Because I say, I love you. What does that mean? What is that feeling in me? If you say that you love me, what is the feeling that is generated in you? Is it the same? If I say I feel happy, am I feeling exactly what you're feeling? When you say I'm happy, there is this whole area of philosophical investigation which sort of uh, which rests largely on the fact that we are isolated. We're completely isolated in our own, what should I say, in our own perception of things. I don't know what you mean. When you say this is blue, I don't know what you mean by that. I know what I mean by that, and I assume that's what you mean by that. Has it not happened? Happens very often, especially now that we are into looking at interiors and colors and this and that. So I said, no, we can't have this color. It's blue. Our color is green. So somebody said, no, this is green. So it's a very interesting phenomenon, isn't it? When you say green, what do you mean? When I say green, what do I mean? Are we always due to be so isolated from one another that we're never going to know? What is it to somebody else? Now, what is it to somebody else then brings us to the next question is what is really there? You and I and the ant and the bacteria. Dog I understand doesn't see any color, everything is gray for him. How do we really know how the dog is seeing anything? How do we know how any human being is seeing? So this is an isolation theory that exists. And it's pertinent to us because our next question is going to be, with such a wide variety of beings and therefore such a wide variety of thoughts, what is really there? And that is the philosophical investigation that we have undertaken. Many people have undertaken this investigation before us. They are called the realists and the idealists. Sometimes people say, why are you thinking about this? जाके पैसे earn करो, शादी कर लो, go do something, start a business. Why are you thinking about this? We think about this because can some more people put on their videos? It's very odd talking about such things and not seeing anybody at all. सब सो गए हैं क्या? What? Are you all able to relate to these ideas? Shall we move on from this and talk of something else? That I know only when I look at your face. Okay, thank you, all of you. Why are you discussing? क्यों मेरा टाइम वेस्ट कर? बच्चे अनाथ हैं, भूख से लोग मर रहे हैं. There is war going on in this world. Why are you discussing what is real? Go deal with all these problems. When you go to ask people, give me funds for Vedanta University, then they say, are you feeding the poor? Are you helping the war? What are you doing? Why should I give you money? Although that company, that NGO is going to fill the stomach of 5,000 kids for a month. Why should I not give them? Why should I give you? Nobody's saying don't give them. Please understand that the discussion of reality, because it is absent from our society, that is why there are orphans. That is why there is war. That is why there is climate change. That is why we are all miserable. How is that so? What we don't get is that whatever theory I hold in my mind is what is the action I am going to be doing. So if a person is willing to put millions of life at risk so that he retains power or he gets money, it's because his concept of reality is that when I have the power, when I have the money, that is real and that is the sonum bonum of life. If we can change that idea to maybe something like, if I can serve millions of people, then that is my power and that is my sonum bonum of life, then our world will be so different. It's very, very important to understand what is the basic theory in our heads, in our own heads. Now, we can't go change anybody else's theory. In our own heads, let's start from there. Let me clean up the theory in my head. Is my theory really correct? And when we start investigating these philosophical truths, our theories start being more and more aligned to the truth. And when they become more and more aligned to truth, our actions become aligned to that truth. And that is how our world will improve. It's too abstract for most people to get. But I hope that at least this class gets it. If you have a problem with it, please feel free to ask. Because there's nothing like deep diving this idea where our theories are determining our actions. If any part is not clear, please discuss it. Right? Any questions on up to this point?
Hariom, the isolation theory is because of desires, right? Or is it natural?
Isolation theory is because, their theory is because you can never know what is the experience another human being is having. That is where you can read it up. It's a philosophical.
Experience means are they sad, happy, or what?
No, not are they sad or happy. When they say they are sad, what are they feeling? When if I tell you, Ganesh, I'm sad, you associate the word sad with something that you have felt, right? And in your head, you think that when I say I'm feeling sad, I am feeling what you felt when you were sad. How do you know that's true? It's not just sad, even blue. When I say blue and you say blue, are we talking about the same thing? How will we know this? How will we know we're talking about this? That's the isolation. What is it called? Isolationist perception or something like that. Is called. I don't know what it is called. Name like that. Now, all these technical jargon, y'all are very smart. Y'all will no doubt find on your various devices. But the concept is how it is impossible for me to know. Like I'm looking at Meera. Meera's about to say something, right? Now everyone is looking at Meera, and we think that she is, let us say, anxious about bringing up some point. Now, what is that anxiousness of that point in her mind? Is it? I'm claiming she's anxious. Okay, she may not be anxious. I'm claiming she's anxious. Now, when you hear that I'm saying that she's anxious to some point, you are relating this to something. That anxiety which you think is anxious, is that what Meera is going through? If she's going through it. Or is that the anxious I meant when I said she's anxious? So it's beginning to realize that other people's experience of life may not be my experience of life. Yes, Meera?
Yeah, Janki, I was just saying that means the basis of what you're saying is our entire life, we are assuming that, others are thinking the same thoughts. Like a 5 kilometer walk would be easy. You'll say, why can't you walk 5 kilometers? It's just a short distance. We assume the other person, the entire lifespan, you continue assuming your theory of perception, not the other person's, right?
Correct. But this is one step beyond. If you say it's easy to walk 5 kilometers and I say it's easy to walk 5 kilometers, this easy that we are referring to, is it the same?
Okay.
So what
because I can walk 10 kilometers. I mean, in that sense, I can say.
Is my experience the same of that easy or difficult or whatever, Like I'm assuming, right? When you say, I find this concept troubling, suppose you say, then I'm assuming that when I hear the word troubling, the feeling that I have associated with that word troubling is the feeling you're going through. But actually, I don't know what is the feeling you're going through. That is the theory of Isolationist perception, something like that. I don't know what name they have to it.
So, what is the role of convincing somebody else in this
Convincing
case?
somebody else always has to start with first seeing what they are feeling. Where are they? And then how much can you move them from that position to some other position? Your whole life, you are a salesperson. You're always convincing somebody of something. You're convincing your husband that he ought to eat healthy food. You're convincing your child that he ought to study. You're convincing your maid that she ought to work with some degree of efficiency. So all the time you are being a salesman. Na? Now, if you have to be a good salesman, your first step is where is this person? And how do I move that bar further? So the difficulty, according to the whatever isolationist theory, is that the difficulty is understanding the original position. Where is he or she? So, yes, of course. So convincing you can't help that. You have to do all your life long. You convince the shopkeeper to give you the right goods at the right price according to you. He convinces you. You convince him. Everybody is selling something or the other to somebody or the other. So that's your life. The problem is identifying where is this person's starting point. And when I believe that this is a starting point, is that really his experience? I say I love Coke. So when I have the Coke, what is my experience of having the Coke? When you say you love Coke, are you having the same experience? That's their problem. That's the problem of this isolationist theory. So as far as we are concerned, it's only to understand how it is so different for everyone. So different.
Thank you.
Janki ji, your example of the funding, let's say people are more willing to give to orphans, let's say, and not to Vedanta as a cause, because so they are right in their perception that that is the cause to serve. So how do we tell them that your understanding of that cause is not real? Or
I wish I knew the answer to that, Kalyan. That would be a very good answer to have. I have no
no, no,
idea what
because
is the answer.
every time when we talk, even to very close friends, when I speak about Vedanta, the same, we end up at this final where the discussion stops because they are not convinced at all that you're all talking some abstract things of reality, all this. It has nothing to do with anything which will improve the lot of some children's education or something I rather give for that. So, but you said to convince them that there is a far more fundamental cause of their perception of the reality, that this is the cause to work for. That is, I don't know how.
Impossible. Don't even go there. So that is why we have to start with saying that people's relationships will improve with this study. People's relationships improve, people's finances improve, people's choices in life improve. One of the things that's very difficult for us to measure is, they say show us case studies. What? Your video has stopped.
No, no,
Finish? Has the video stopped?
We can see you.
Yes, Janki ji.
So I
We
think
are not
everybody
able
else
to.
is seeing it. Is everybody else seeing? This is
We
the
can see you, yeah.
it is
okay.
real
We can see you.
perception
All
problem.
right. Maybe you need to just, sort of log in and log out if there's some network.
Acha, okay, okay, okay.
Theory
Okay.
of
Let me try.
perception.
Let me try, ma'am.
So what was I? So you can't go there to such fundamental thing. Reality and all, forget. In class, it's a struggle for us to understand. So telling outsiders, so forget. But so we talk about relationships, people more concerned about contributing to society, more purpose-driven lives. We talk like that. And we can prove that. Because we can say, we can take a case study, Kalyan. What was Kalyan doing 5 years ago before he started? Now, what is his, improvement in his life? We can do all this. The part which is almost impossible for us to measure or to even, what should I say, to calculate, to measure, to prove, no, which is the most important part. The most difficult part is the most important part, which is to say that for everybody in class, because they have studied Vedanta, they have at least taken some correct decisions, watched out for a few of the problems that could have come in the future and therefore took preventive action. How do we measure this? What are the problems you all have avoided? Because at some stage you realize that if I do X, Y will happen. I'm not doing Y. I'm not doing X, so Y does not happen. What amount of good must have come simply by people preventing problems? Everything is going properly, and nothing went wrong. But the fact that nothing went wrong, the value of that is not what is not measurable or provable. You don't know what happened in the background.
No, the person's opposition's retort will be that that is not because of Vedanta or anything. It is just because, I mean, even I have not studied, but I have also avoided a lot of problems in my life.
Yeah, sure. But everybody was not as smart as you. Some people learned Vedanta and then avoided the problems. Wouldn't you like other people to learn your skill of avoiding problems? There is no systematic method today of teaching people how to avoid them. Here is one method. You are a great genius. You got it on your own, but you can see around you people are not getting it. You're seeing how many problems they are creating. Wouldn't you like a process by which they would? And any conviction, you have to always start with yes. That's one of the lessons you learn from the Gita. No matter what Arjuna says, Krishna says yes. The funniest one is when Arjuna tells Krishna, the mind is very strong. I am telling you, it is impossible to control. Who are you saying this to? A person who's just done it. You know? But Krishna said, yes, you are right. But that is how yes, you're right. You are a very smart person. You have avoided problems because you were born like that. But how do the other people get this talent which you have?
So coming back to that question of convincing about, so you're saying don't even talk about all this. Start with how it helps relationships, or be a better person, which leads to more wealth or whatever clicks for that
Whatever
person.
contribution, why do old age homes exist? Because there's nobody to look after the old people. Why are they not there to look after all the old people? Each one has his own, whatever, his own things in life. That multi generational living is going out of our society at our own risk and cost. The grandparents did play an important role in the children's lives, in the housewife's life. Even if she's at home, the grandparents were like one relief for the mother. Well, mothers have to, if it's a homemaker, that mother has to put up with these kids who have got half a brain. So she has a full brain, she goes mad with them. So grandparents take some of the strain out of this. Some women go completely berserk because dealing with small children isn't easy. Ask any teacher. It's a tension because you don't know what these people will understand, what they will do. Like my wonderful maid. She was a very small child I have in the house. That day I told her, Mr. Santok is not there for dinner. Do not make whole dinner. Make me a chutney tomato sandwich. Do you understand this instruction? In her mind, that meant make chutney, put the tomato in the grinder and apply that to the bread. You understood? You don't seem to. I mean, when I tell you, make me a chutney tomato sandwich, I think you understand that you have to cut the tomato, not put it in the chutney. So you have to deal with all this. So when you have multi-generational living, you have an elderly person in the house who has the time and patience and mental awareness to say, अच्छा चटनी बनाओ, टमाटो काटो, ब्रेड लेके आओ, ब्रेड पर पहले चटनी लगाओ, फिर टमाटो उस पे लगाओ. That's the advantage of multi-generational living. So we are losing all this stuff. We are looking upon the elders as a burden. We're looking upon the children as a burden. We're looking at the spouse as a burden. Everything is a burden in our life. We're looking upon work as a burden. Right? So when we get our sights corrected, there's some systematic method to get our sights correct. Everything will become okay. But you and I both know, we have both been trying. You all, I don't know if you all know, Kalyan is one of the higher fundraisers, and he has done a lot of work and he continues to do it. He has sent out many mails also to many people, all of which have been ignored. But he thought, I'm a big corporate executive. मेरी बात सब सुनेंगे, जाओ पैसे मांगो, देखो कौन क्या सुन रहा है. Nothing like karma yoga to make us humble in life. So but he has raised a lot of money. That's the problem, right? If people don't give us, suppose you have a budget of 5 crores, you even 20 lakhs also, if you give us now, we are happy. Give us your surplus. We are managing.
But coming back to that question, so let's say that friend of mine, he's convinced, okay, Vedanta, but then you say it builds all these happiness, relationships, but you tell him this is the method. You have to get up in the morning, study, reflect, and do karma, bhakti, and jnana.
And don't forget group discussion.
Yeah, group discussion. So
that one thing nobody wants to do, at least some.
But then he says, okay, 1 day, 2 days, lifelong I have to do this. Then
so you have to tell him, see, people were losing their teeth. Then dentist told them, please brush your teeth. Then, and if you brush your teeth, your teeth will stay nice, you'll have pearly whites, you won't have toothache, you'll have teeth right into your old age. And then the person says, okay, fine, I'll brush my teeth. But do I have to do this my whole life long? No, only as long as you want the teeth. Then you decide, okay, now I don't want them anymore, you can stop. So do you have to do it whole life long? No, only as long as you want to grow.
yeah, but the idea of growth is the problem, no? There again.
Right? So अब मैं क्या बोलूं? If you don't want something, how can I tell you how to get it? I can only tell you how to get it if you want it. Everybody thinks मैं तो इतना great. Now why would they want growth? मैं तो इतना great हूँ, मेरे आजू बाजू सब एक के एक भुलक्कड़ बेवकूफ है. Now what to talk to these people? When he says मैं idiot हूँ, then he's ready for Vedanta. How many idiots in this class? Raise your hand. Not many. How can I say I am an idiot? I think every class we should begin by saying that I am an idiot. You know how in the Alcoholics Anonymous they start, I am an alcoholic. We should start. So saying Om Sahana Vatu, वैसे भी कोई बोलता नहीं है, nobody understands what it means, and people are just अच्छा क्लास में ओम सहना वतु चल रहा है, चलो मैं ये जल्दी जल्दी खत्म कर देता हूँ. So no point. He will say, I am an idiot. Every class we should begin like that. I am an idiot. But we can't say I'm an idiot every class because then we will become more of an idiot. We should say I am the self. At least then I will see that thoda difference hai between what I am saying and what I am.
Janki
Sorry,
ji,
Kalyan.
there's one more thing I want to add what Kalyan said. There are also people who say, I don't mind being born again, I don't really care because I won't remember what I was in the past. So it doesn't matter, Vedanta, no Vedanta, it's okay. There are a lot of people who talk like that also.
You're wonderful. Please be born again. Who is
That's
stopping
what they
you?
say.
Go ahead, be born again. But know that your next life is just going to be exactly this life if you haven't changed. It's not going to be a different thing. Many people think that, oh, I'll be born again. Next time, who knows? I may be born in the British royal family. No, you won't. You'll be born exactly where you're born because you're same. You get exactly the same thing. If you don't want to change your vasanas, well, you'll just see the same picture over and over and over and over again. If that's what you'd like to do, Karuna. There's no point. There's no point. In class, I can say all this. You cannot go out and say this to anyone because they're not asking a question. If there's no question, why an answer?
तो फंड्स कैसे मिलेगा फिर ये सब
For
तो
that, you have to do some nakra. You have to say, oh, the fantastic thing, the world's first, you will be able to associate your name with this thing. ये तो बड़ा बनने वाला है. We're just catching it at the right time. ऐसे नखरा कुछ करो. कुछ किसी को समझ में नहीं आता. तो नखरा. All the people associated with the Rasuvas. कुछ नखरा करो. और क्या कर सकते हैं? How are we going to explain to people who don't understand? We can't. तो मैं क्या करूं हम हमारा तो काम चले जा रहा है. We need another 30-40 lakhs. If anybody can give 30-40 lakhs, that would be very good. Only another 34 and we 30-40 and we are covered for this phase. And then we can start our retreat, we can start our course. Just have to get past so much. Then we will do our thing. Then when we do our thing, people will have proof of concept. Another thing, I don't know, you hear this thing, proof of concept. सिर खा रखा है मेरा proof of concept. तो proof of concept दिखा देंगे भैया हमने ये किया अब ये है. This is what our students have done. They've done a 1-year course. Now see what has happened to them.
okay coming so basically we started from why study this so it comes back to the question why study it then if
You study it because you understand its worth.
okay
Nobody else is going to understand. It's a thankless job. But you know the quality of your life. Nobody's going to appreciate you for you. Nobody's going to say you did a big thing, Kalyan, you raised so much money. The course is going to come up because of what you and lots of people have been doing. You're going to get no kudos. Nobody's going to know what you've done, but you will just sleep better at night. You will have the satisfaction that I did something useful. If that is important to you, Karo. If that is not important to you, Dodo, whatever, run on the treadmill like everybody. But this is really that honest thing to your own self. What according to you is worthy of being done. And if each person does what according to them is worthy of being done, they get a satisfaction beyond what they have conceived. And for some strange reason, they seem to get finances beyond what they have conceived. I have heard it so many times. It's like, where's the money? Have you done anything for money? No. Have you struggled for money? No. Where is all your money coming from? No idea. Nobody gives me anything, but I seem to be okay. I don't know. I told somebody, yahan to sab Ram bharose hai. He got so mad at me. I was hoping he'll give me funds, but he got so angry with me that he started whacking me over the head. So then I had to whack him back. Because the truth is the truth is the truth. Now, what can I say? If the truth doesn't appeal to you, it still stays the truth. I mean, I think almost anybody here in the class will vouch for this. I've told you, right? My father got angry with me only once or twice in life. So I remember those incidents. The one time he was mad at me is when I told him after the academy course, 3 years are done. I am now to decide what I'm doing with the rest of my life. I said, no, I'm going to do Vedanta. So are you going to take classes? Yes. You're going to charge for them? No. And how are you going to live? I don't know. How are you going to be financially secure? I don't know. And he went ballistic. Never in his life has he gone this ballistic. He thought I'd just thrown my life down the drain. Now, in retrospect, I feel more sympathetic for him because even if I hear it now, I'll say, Pagal log hai ye. But the fact is, I'm okay. Somehow, enough. Don't ask me how. I don't know how. Oh, my needs are more than enough. So why is it okay? I don't know. And what are my needs? It's not like my needs are low. My needs are 108 crores to build a Vedanta university. It's not small needs, right? They're massive needs. Chal raha hai somehow. So you get the satisfaction, somehow the finances are there, somehow. I don't know, everything seems to be there. And this is not one person. The others who have been working, the one person who worked for our cause, you would hate me telling you, you work for the cause, you've been working for the cause for years and years and years. Some aunt somewhere died and left him a flat in Mumbai. Now, what is all this? I don't know what it is, but I know people get taken care of. So what about what others say? Nothing. My theory has to be correct. My actions will be correct. My results will be correct. So you can see that this is correct. They will do it too, and they will benefit too. Deep Raj. If they want to read detailed case studies, we release an article every issue in the Vedanta Wisdom Journal. Oh, great. Prakash's iPhone. Efforts made to get funds but unsuccessful will come under Seva concept. Yes, of course it will. It is the intention that makes something Seva, not result. Meera, self-sufficient. I'm assuming you mean that with this knowledge you become self-sufficient or independent. Yes, you do. Right. Taran?
Yeah, hi, Janki. Big thought came to my mind, like when we were describing that, okay, we don't know how the things will come up, right? I don't know, but things happen, right? So would the whole creation happen that way? Means all the laws that have come up have happened that way. I don't know which law to make, but it came up.
How it happened, we are coming to. What is the reality we are coming to? I
So,
know
me,
we are all very enthusiastic of what is the reality, but we are coming there. How
so,
it came, we are coming to.
so just one question. So the laws came up with some plan, you're saying?
Nope,
Okay. Yeah, they just came up, right?
nope.
Okay. Mystery. Okay.
Mystery. Yes. Next chapter. Next 2 chapters, we will deal with all of this. What came up, what didn't come up. As of now, our point has been what? That as your theory to your action. Now, it's very easy to understand that if I find everybody, if my theory is like money is very important, then what will be my action? I will do everything to get money. I will stay with people who are very moneyed. I will try to always get into a group which has got money. Because that's my theory, that's my action. Now we can't go about cleaning up every wrong theory we have in our head. So we have a vacuum cleaner. And that vacuum cleaner is known as
Once upon
what?
a life.
I can't hear you. That vacuum cleaner is the theory of reality itself. What is your theory of reality? And if you manage somehow to get that correct, can you imagine everything else has to fall into place? Because your base is right. Therefore, it's an incredibly important thing for us to get this right. So, what does it mean, right, as of now? The Vedantic theory of perception is there is a subject, there is an object. When these two meet, when the thought in the mind of the subject, when the attribute in the object, when these two meet in the presence of Brahman, what happens is this world is created for our perception. Now you can work this theory downwards and come to very practical things such as the fight between a husband and wife or a business loss. You can work it downwards and go there. But if you can stay with the abstract and just stay with that and understand how it is always these two things that are meeting constantly, like somebody told me, you should trust everybody. This is an example of an idealistic theory. What is an idealistic theory? You only notice what the subject is doing. So we will not go, sir, how can you be Vedanta and you talk like this? We would not say trust everybody. What would we say? We would say trust everybody, but lock your front door also. Because it is not it's not about how I think. There is a reality there. There is something there. I'm not going to face that. Many people have had many business losses because they stay with what is in their head. The customer behavior is there. There's some people who say, I mean, at least earlier they said that this is a formula for a good film. हीरो होना चाहिए, डांसेस होने चाहिए, आइटम सॉन्ग होना चाहिए, मारपीट होना चाहिए, थोड़ा ह्यूमर होना चाहिए. You put all these things and your movie will still sleep. So we have to know this, that there is me and my thoughts, and there is a object and its attributes. And all of this is in the presence of Brahman. The reality, finally, is not the object or the subject, but Brahman. This is where we are heading to. All right, so I hope theory of perception is at least largely clear. But if it is not, never mind. Anyway, we are going to knock it down. So we will continue, not next time. Next time is the Yagna. You all know, right? The Yagna is going to be in Mumbai. All those who are in Mumbai, do come and join us. It would be wonderful if you all came. I mean, nice for all of us to be doing the Yagna together. So do come. Those of you who are not in Mumbai or anywhere close to Mumbai, you all can do group discussion next Saturday. How many people will do group discussion next Saturday? Three. Please come and do it. I know you don't like it. Deepraj is there to lead it, not because you're not telling him to lead it. He doesn't have to answer all the questions. He's not meant to answer all the questions. He's only meant to ensure that you all know the rules by which this has to work. So Mukar has put on the screen for us what is happening next from next Wednesday. Right? at the Jamnabai Nursi School Hall, that is JVPD, Juhu. So do come. Those who are out of the city, group discussion, please put in the effort, not just to go there and give lecture. Everybody is allowed to speak for only 45 seconds. How much? How many seconds? Whatever your point is, if you cannot make it briefly, you don't have a point. Learn that. So Deepraj will keep track of all this. How many seconds are you speaking? Keep a clock, Deepraj, and make sure nobody speaks for more than that much time. Because if you can't say it briefly, you simply don't know what you're saying. Okay? So please, do it. I know it's not fun. But what do you expect? Everything to be fun? Something is going to be not fun, no, when you're trying to grow. So this is it. All right. So I will see you tomorrow, of course. Oh my God, twice tomorrow. There's a talk in France tomorrow. And then at the Yagna. And then after the Yagna,